Uh, Today, we schedule all the cases for Jordan Harden. We try to do that so they won't be spread all over the map. So all three of today's cases are Ms. Harden's. The next matter is People versus Stephen Lee Reed. That's you, sir?
Yes.
Here with your lawyer, Ms. Jordan Harden. Also present is Daniel Frazine, who prepared the screening report in this case, and Gary Gaby from the prosecuting attorney's office. Mr. Reed has essentially no criminal record, no driving record, and we're here dealing with this matter that happened in December of last year. Mr. Reed is 77 years old. He graduated from Three Rivers High School in 1965 with the esteemed Mr. Ronald Grubbs. I think maybe Dave Ryan was also in your class of 65. And this was not a good night. Although this case is very troubling to me. I spent a lot of time on it on Friday and again looking at it this morning. Ms. Harden, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Frazine did a comprehensive report, met with Mr. Reed, kind of got some background on him and discussed the night in question. I think Mr. Frazine accurately was able to capture what we've been trying to present to the court. This was truly a once in a lifetime situation for Mr. Reed. He has an impeccable record. As Mr. Frazine has indicated, he is a veteran, no criminal issues, and he's very aware of how serious this is, and that even though, you know, you're just out to dinner, you still have to be cognizant of what you're consuming and your ability to drive. So the biggest penalty for Mr. Reed is going to be that period of restriction. He is retired, so he does have, you know, activities that he engages in. He also does a lot of the shopping for the household, so he's the primary driver for those kind of things. He's aware that the Secretary of State is going to impose that period of restriction, so he is going to have to rely on his spouse to help with those kinds of things. So I think the recommendation provided is fair, and ask the court to follow that.
Mr. Gabriel, you have any input here?
I would just indicate, Your Honor, that I don't disagree with anything Ms. Harden said. I would think that probably when he got home the next day, he probably heard some things from his wife that might even have sunk in more than what we're going to say. It's unfortunate that it happened. It happened, and I don't see any reason he needs treatment either, but obviously whatever the court feels is appropriate is appropriate.
All right. Mr. Reed, anything you'd like to tell me?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm very remorseful that this happened. Certainly, I've lost lots of sleep thinking about it. It has bothered me ever since it happened. It will never happen again. I've taken measures. When I play golf, I'll drink one non-alcoholic beer before I drive home. And my wife and I have both learned from it that certainly it can't happen again and never will.
I'm confident of that. I don't think you're going to get arrested for this again. This is embarrassing. It's expensive. It's humiliating. You went to jail. But you earned it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Mr. Frazine, anything you wish to add?
No, I pretty much agree with everything that was said here. He was you could tell it very much affected him when I was having a conversation with him. And of course, we talked about how things could have been a lot worse and that he was lucky that it just ended the way it did. And I definitely don't think we'd end up seeing him back, especially not for something like this again.
What troubled me about this case is the assumption that you could go out to dinner and have a couple of drinks and get arrested for drunk driving on the way home. It's like, well, I was just doing what everybody else did. We went out to dinner. Farron Hall's a very nice place. They don't serve liquor. They serve wine and beer. But you didn't just have a couple of glasses of wine and leave. Plus, you were going to drive all the way from Fair and Hall to Kalamazoo. And you were going 76 miles an hour while you were allegedly watching out for deer to not hit one. That's a good place to hit one, but going 76 makes it a lot more likely that you might do it. I'm glad you didn't hit one. I don't know what else you drank. There was some indication that you drank something before you left. I'll give you a minute.
Okay.
When the officer pulled the car over, he noticed the immediate smell of alcohol in the car, and there were 2 glass cups. And he doesn't say any more about it, what was in them or whether he dumped them out or what they were. They gave you a test and it was over the legal limit at 0.106. Gave your wife a test. She was also impaired by alcohol and her blood alcohol was over the legal limit as well. So neither one of you was able to drive the car. Your blood alcohol level then went up higher by the time they actually drew your blood. According to driver's license, you weigh about 200 pounds. And in order for you at your size over the time allotted to get to a 0.126, it had to have had 10 drinks thereabouts. A bottle of wine is 750 milliliters, just over 25 ounces. So a standard bottle of wine is about 5-ounce pours of wine. You drank the equivalent of 2 full bottles of wine by yourself in order to get to that blood alcohol level. And that isn't the kind of thing people do at Fair and Hall. As you said, the meals are wonderful. People sometimes have a couple glasses of wine with their dinner. But in order for you to get to the blood alcohol level you were at over the time that passed and your size, you would have had to drink 2 full bottles of wine. You had testified that you drank something before you left. And I don't know what was in the cups inside the car. But what troubled me about it is that you were comfortable enough to go there for this wonderful dinner, drink to that extent, didn't feel like you were impaired by alcohol, and had a 0.12 blood alcohol. So this was gonna happen. It's gonna happen on the way home from golf. It's gonna happen on the way home from a Christmas party. Alcohol was sneaking up on you. And it wasn't even unusual for you to drink this much and then want to drive home. So the law says that there's a presumption of no jail, no additional jail in a drinking driving case where there's no other aggravated facts. You were respectful, polite with the officers. You have a completely clean record, but this was a big wake-up call. And I think you woke up to the extent that you're never going to do this again. So you wanted to tell me something else?
Yes, Your Honor. I did have 1 bottle. My wife and I each ordered separate, and I ordered red. She ordered a white. I did have 1 bourbon earlier in the day. And it was a wine dinner, and the hostess there gave us a port. But so I shared a little of my wine, so I'm shocked that I had over 1 bottle if that did it. But certainly we were there for like 3.5 hours. So unfortunately, I sat there and you just were talking. We had a good time. It was a big anniversary. But definitely I learned that can't happen again and never will.
What was in the cups in the car?
They were empty. I'd been out shopping all day long. We'd had a drink, and just when we finished and we put them in the car, and so they were totally empty from time we left the house. So there was nothing in there.
Now, my impression was you went to dinner with another couple
Yes, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law from Mendon.
and they were in a separate car.
Yes.
Okay, because I was looking for two other people in the car. All right. Daniel, anything else to add?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Now, you're at one end of the spectrum. We got Mr. Padilla. We're about to do him in a minute. He's 18. He nearly killed about 5 people, including himself. Then he was also smoking marijuana, and he's not old enough to do that. And then he drove 2 more times after he got arrested for this. So I got to figure out what to do with him. So they come in all different shapes and sizes. I'm gonna order 1 day jail credit, 1 day. A $300 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, a $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $120 reimbursement to the sheriff's department. The victim impact panel is $32. Let's add that up. 300 plus 125 costs, 100 screening fee, 150 attorney fee, 120 police reimbursement, and $32 $827. That's relatively inexpensive. These can go up to $1,500 to $2,000 with probation and other costs. There is no probation. As Mr. Frazine indicated, the state says we're not supposed to order any additional jail. So how long will it take you to pay $827?
I will obviously pay.
I'm sure you will. We'll make it due in 30 days.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an issue. And Mr. Frazine is going to schedule the victim impact panel. All right. I don't think I will see you again.
You will not, sir.
Well, I might see you at Myers or something, but you don't live here anymore, but maybe I'll see you at Farron Hall sometime. All right, you go with Mr. Frazine and he'll plug you into the victim impact panel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Frazine will help you downstairs. Mr. Frazine will help you downstairs.
Good morning. Good morning.